Younger women hate when older guys do this. 6 unattractive habits. Stoic love. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Mark Twain. As we grow older, we accumulate wisdom, stability, and experience, qualities that naturally set us apart, especially in the eyes of younger women. These attributes are undeniably appealing, but surprisingly, many older men unwittingly diminish their own appeal by making simple, avoidable mistakes. The truth is, despite having the upper hand with life experience, many men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond remain frustrated and single because they don't realize they're sabotaging their chances. The issue isn't about losing her respect. It's about failing to showcase the full depth of what you bring to the table. Older men offer something that younger men often can't: a richer perspective on life, the stability to offer security, and the wisdom to lead in ways that matter most. However, in order to truly capitalize on these advantages, it's crucial to steer clear of the common pitfalls that many men fall into. The good news is that these habits aren't permanent flaws. They're simply patterns that can be changed with a little awareness and adjustment. There's no need to reinvent yourself. Instead, focus on fine-tuning your approach. With a few subtle tweaks, you can become the grounded, confident man you're meant to be. Today, I'll walk you through the 7 most common mistakes older men make when dating younger women. By avoiding these, you can change how others see you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. Remember the words of the philosopher Seneca. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Don't waste your potential. Let's explore the first mistake and how to avoid it. Mistake 1. Leading with money. Far too often, older men mistakenly believe that their financial success is the key to attracting younger women. They convince themselves that flaunting their wealth, whether it's by boasting about their high-paying job, flashy cars, exotic vacations, or expensive dinners, will be the ticket to winning her over. Some even go a step further, buying extravagant gifts, paying off bills, or sending money to women they barely know. While this may initially catch her eye, it's not the type of attention you actually want. In fact, leading with money can have the opposite effect, reducing you to little more than a walking ATM. Sure, financial stability can be appealing, as it signals success, but if it's the only thing you bring to the table, you're likely to attract women who are more interested in what you can give them rather than who you truly are. These women aren't seeking a connection or a partnership. They're seeking a transaction. The real danger is that you'll fall into a pattern where your value is solely measured by what you can offer in material terms, instead of the deeper connection that comes from a true relationship. If you want to avoid this pitfall, it's time to stop making money the focal point of your interactions. Instead, let your financial success emerge naturally over time as part of the larger picture of who you are. Shift the focus away from what you can buy and place it on your personality, values, and the unique life experiences that shape you. As the famous author Albert Schweitzer once said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success." This mindset shift is crucial because the women worth your time aren't interested in someone who is simply a financial provider. They're interested in someone they can connect with emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. When you present yourself as a well-rounded, confident man who happens to be successful, you'll not only attract women with similar values, but also create the foundation for a relationship built on mutual respect rather than a transactional exchange. Money should be viewed as a tool that supports your life, not as a crutch that defines your relationships. When you lead with character, authenticity, and respect for others, you'll stand out in a way that no amount of material wealth can achieve. As Jim Rohn wisely put it, your income is directly related to your philosophy, not the economy. So, let your financial success speak for itself, but let your character be the true measure of who you are. In the end, it's the connection you build, not the gifts you give, that truly matter in a lasting relationship. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. What's your take on the role of money in relationships, and how have you seen it impact connections with others? Mistake 2. Trying too hard to look young. One of the biggest pitfalls older men often fall into is the overwhelming urge to appear younger. This instinct might manifest in various ways: wearing clothing that feels more suited to someone half their age, using trendy slang that feels forced, or pursuing fads that clearly don't resonate with their true personality. The problem with this approach is clear. It almost always comes across as contrived and inauthentic. Younger women are highly perceptive and can spot when someone is trying too hard to fit in rather than embracing their natural self. And this forced effort is rarely seen as attractive. Instead of appearing youthful or relatable, it often signals insecurity about aging and a desperate attempt to reclaim a time that's past. The real issue here is the disconnect it creates. Instead of seeing you as a confident, mature man who knows who he is, they see someone who is uneasy with his age and trying to wear a mask of someone he's not. Now here's where the real truth lies. Attempting to look or act younger doesn't necessarily make you more attractive. The secret to being alluring isn't in trying to reverse time, but in confidently owning your age. Women don't want to see a man pretending to be someone else. They want authenticity, confidence, and someone who feels comfortable in his own skin. When you embrace your maturity, your experience, and the wisdom that comes with age, that's when you become magnetic. A man who is well-groomed and stylish in a way that complements his age sends a clear message. He's a man who values himself and takes care of his appearance, without trying to appear something he's not. It's far more appealing to wear clothing that reflects who you are, not what others think you should be. A wardrobe that aligns with your age, yet still maintains sharp, modern elements, shows you have a sense of style without trying to emulate someone younger. Rather than chasing every fleeting fashion trend, invest in pieces that exude sophistication, quality, and a timeless appeal. A wardrobe that speaks to your age and lifestyle can be just as stylish, if not more so, than any fleeting trend. But style isn't just about what you wear. It's about how you feel. Focus on your health and fitness, not because you're aiming to look younger, but because you want to feel your best at any age. Working out, eating well, and taking care of your body will not only keep you strong, but also enhance your confidence. The more you prioritize your well-being, the better you'll feel in your skin, and that radiates to others. Fitness, when approached from the perspective of self-care and well-being, doesn't carry the pressure of trying to look like someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. When it comes to communication, authenticity is key. Rather than forcing yourself to adapt to every new slang or cultural reference that's trending, focus on speaking from a place of experience and wisdom. Young people often crave insight and maturity, not the latest buzzwords. Your words, laced with the lessons life has taught you, will resonate far more than attempting to imitate the way younger people speak or act. There's power in expressing yourself with thoughtfulness and depth. When you speak with confidence and sincerity, you naturally stand out among the crowd of younger guys who may still be finding their footing. The bottom line is this: trying to be something you're not rarely leads to the results you desire. Instead of focusing on appearing younger, shift your focus to embracing your age and celebrating the experience that comes with it. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about confidently embodying the person you've become. Women aren't looking for someone to be their peer, but rather someone who is comfortable with who they are and who brings a unique perspective to the table. Confidence in your own skin, a healthy lifestyle, and authenticity in your interactions will always make you more attractive than any fleeting attempt to turn back the clock. So embrace your age, take care of yourself, and let your confidence shine through. It's the most attractive thing you can offer. Mistake 3. Neglecting your physical presence. One of the biggest mistakes that older men often make is neglecting their physical presence. They convince themselves that their life achievements, experience, or personality alone are enough to carry them through relationships, especially with younger women. But here's the harsh reality. Attraction is not just about who you are or what you've accomplished. It's equally about how you present yourself. You could be an accomplished, wise, and charming individual, but if you neglect your physical appearance, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're unintentionally signaling that you don't care enough about yourself to put in the effort. And that, my friend, can be a major turn-off. It's not about needing to look like a fitness model or a magazine cover star, but about presenting the best version of yourself, letting yourself go physically, whether that's through poor grooming, dressing sloppily, or failing to maintain a healthy lifestyle, diminishes the great qualities that you bring to the table. Younger women are naturally attracted to older men because they represent stability, confidence, and strength, qualities that they often don't find in younger men. However, when your appearance doesn't reflect that same energy, it creates a disconnect. Your physical presence doesn't just represent what's on the outside, it's an extension of who you are inside. A man who looks after himself shows self-respect, and that self-respect is contagious. It's the kind of energy that attracts not only younger women, but anyone with a strong sense of character and ambition. And this isn't just about aesthetics. Looking your best boosts your confidence, improves your energy levels, and helps you walk into a room with a sense of power and purpose. If you're neglecting your physical appearance, it's time to take action. Start with the basics. Grooming. It may sound trivial, but a well-trimmed beard, clean nails, and a modern, well-kept haircut go a long way. These small details add up to an image that speaks volumes about how you view yourself. Clothes matter too. Upgrade your wardrobe. Choose timeless, well-fitted pieces over fleeting trends that may not serve you. When you dress in a way that reflects your personal style and the confidence you've built over the years, it radiates outward and makes a lasting impression. Don't overlook your health. Exercise regularly and keep a balanced diet. It's not about becoming a bodybuilder, but rather about taking care of the body that has carried you through life's journey. By improving your physical health, you're not only improving your appearance, but also your mental clarity and emotional resilience. Let's remember that physical presence isn't just about looking good for the sake of others. It's about demonstrating that you have a deep sense of respect for yourself. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The first wealth is health." This doesn't just mean physical wealth, it means emotional, psychological, and relational wealth. The more you invest in your health and appearance, the more you'll feel like you're living life on your terms. In today's world, people, especially younger women, are drawn to men who have mastered their presence. They want to see a man who walks into a room and commands attention, not because he's loud or flashy, but because he exudes quiet confidence and strength. A man who takes care of himself sends a powerful message. I know my worth, and I respect myself enough to show it. That energy is magnetic, and it's not just about attracting others, it's about attracting the best version of yourself. A healthy, fit, well-groomed man isn't just more attractive, he's more dynamic, more capable of handling the challenges life throws at him, and more present in every moment. He's the kind of man who will inspire those around him, whether it's in a relationship, a career, or in any endeavour. Every decision you make about your physical presence counts. Whether you're stepping into a date, a meeting, or a social gathering, your appearance has the power to make or break the impression you give. And that first impression can often be the difference between making a lasting connection and being overlooked. Remember, the way you carry yourself says more than words ever could. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say, as Ralph Waldo Emerson famously stated. So stop waiting. Take action now. Begin with small steps. Refine your grooming, revamp your wardrobe, focus on your health, and adopt a lifestyle that aligns with the man you want to be. You have the power to shape the way the world sees you, and in doing so, shape the way you see yourself. If you want to attract the attention and respect you deserve, it starts with how you invest in yourself. When you do that, others will take notice, and you'll feel more alive, more confident, and more in control of your destiny than ever before. Mistake 4. Idolizing her. Imagine this. You're standing face to face with a younger woman. She's captivating, full of energy, and perhaps even a little intimidating. The first thing that strikes you is, wow, she's out of my league. For many men in this situation, it's an automatic response to panic or freeze. You start thinking about every possible way not to mess this up. It's natural, but it's also where the trouble begins. In your desire to make her comfortable and to show her that you're worthy of her attention, you begin to overcompensate. You become excessively polite, agreeable, and cautious in your actions and words, careful not to say or do anything that might upset her. You stick to safe, neutral topics, trying to show her just how perfect you are. But here's the crucial point that many men miss. All this effort, in an attempt to appear ideal, actually makes you come across as boring and predictable. Women don't fall for a man who elevates them to an unreachable pedestal, no matter how attractive or special she may seem. In reality, what they're looking for is someone who stands confidently beside them, someone who sees them as an equal rather than a prize to be won. This is where the mistake lies. The way you view her shapes your interactions, and when you start idolizing her, you're subconsciously placing her above you, creating a distance that wasn't there to begin with. It's not just a mental block, it's a behavior pattern that makes every interaction feel like an audition, making you second-guess yourself at every turn. Overthinking, excessive self-consciousness, and an overwhelming desire to impress don't just make you anxious, they make you unappealing. This behavior is draining, not only for you, but also for her. You begin to project insecurity, and that's something that women, no matter how much they may like you at first, will pick up on. It's unattractive and it's exhausting to maintain. You may not realize it, but by constantly putting her on a pedestal, you're inadvertently signaling that you don't value yourself as much as you value her. This lowers her perception of you, even if she's unaware of the subtle, psychological shift taking place. So, what's the solution? You need to stop idolizing younger women, and the first step is normalizing your interactions with them. When you start talking to women of all ages regularly, especially younger ones, you begin to see them for what they really are. People. They're flawed, they have their quirks, and they're human, just like you. In time, you'll stop treating each conversation like a high-stakes performance, and instead, you'll approach it with a sense of ease and grounded confidence. The more you interact with women, the more you realize that they're not some unattainable ideal or rare treasure. They are simply individuals who, like you, have preferences and desires, and they are just as capable of connecting with someone who treats them as an equal. Let go of the idea that you're auditioning for her approval. She's not some trophy to be won or something to be chased. She has the same capacity as you to choose who she's compatible with, and that choice is entirely mutual. Once you start adopting this mindset, the fear of rejection or losing her fades because you'll recognize that there's always someone else out there for you. And that, my friend, is the power that comes with self-assurance. The most attractive thing a man can have is confidence, as they say, and true confidence doesn't come from feeling like you need to earn someone's affection. It comes from recognizing your own worth and approaching relationships as a partnership. It's about standing shoulder to shoulder, not chasing or fawning. So, take a deep breath, stop putting her on that pedestal, and let your interactions flow naturally. Only then can you truly build a connection based on mutual respect and admiration. What are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear your opinions and personal experiences. Share them in the comments below. Mistake 5. Positioning yourself as a mentor. As many men get older, they often find themselves wanting to share their wisdom and experience with younger women, hoping it will make them more attractive. Some even make the mistake of positioning themselves as mentors or guides, thinking that if they can demonstrate how much they have to offer, the younger woman will recognize their value and become more interested. The typical approach involves offering career advice, life lessons, and guidance, all while keeping their true romantic intentions under wraps. Initially, this might seem harmless. After all, you're offering knowledge, which seems like an act of generosity. But here's the issue. By positioning yourself as a mentor, you inadvertently remove the very element that attracts a romantic partner: chemistry. Instead of building sexual or romantic tension, you create a dynamic where she starts to see you as a figure of respect, admiration, or even friendship, but not as a potential lover. This can set the stage for disaster when you finally decide to make your move. At that point, your intentions may feel jarring and awkward, as if you're stepping out of character, and instead of being flattered, she may feel uncomfortable. This shift feels out of place because throughout your interactions, you've been giving off the vibe of a teacher, not a potential romantic partner. For a younger woman to view you as more than just a friend or a mentor, you need to establish a romantic connection from the very start. This doesn't mean waiting for months to build up the courage to make a move or to drop hints that you're interested. By that point, the window for romantic engagement might have passed, and she's likely already placed you in the category of just a friend or someone I look up to. Instead, the key is to introduce flirtation and light-hearted interactions early on. This can mean playful teasing, light compliments, or small gestures of interest that signal your intentions in a fun and relaxed way. These early moments are essential because they create the right atmosphere for a romantic connection, setting the stage for a more natural, seamless progression of your relationship. In today's world, where everyone seems to be on guard for authenticity, it's crucial to be true to yourself in your interactions. Women can easily sense when someone is pretending to be something they're not. If your goal is romance, don't disguise it under the guise of mentorship. Instead, own your intentions with confidence and allow your natural charisma to shine through. Be direct with your energy, showing that you're interested in her as more than just someone to help or advise. This approach doesn't mean being overtly forward or aggressive. It's about setting the right tone through your behavior and your words, creating an undercurrent of romantic potential that can build over time. Men often make the mistake of assuming that their age and experience are automatically attractive qualities. While these can be appealing, they are not enough on their own to spark a romantic connection. Attracting a younger woman is not about being her mentor. It's about being someone she wants to connect with on a deeper level, someone who understands the balance between fun and seriousness, maturity and playfulness. As you navigate this dynamic, it's essential to remember that establishing the right vibe from the outset is critical. Men who fail to do this often find themselves stuck in the friend zone, or worse, seen as the fatherly type, someone she looks up to but never considers romantically. In modern dating, the lines between friendship, mentorship, and romance can blur easily, especially when there's a significant age gap. So instead of focusing solely on how much you can teach her or what guidance you can offer, consider how you can connect with her on a deeper, more engaging level. A playful comment, a shared laugh, or a look that hints at more than just friendship can do wonders for building that romantic tension. Ultimately, your goal should be to foster a connection that is both authentic and magnetic. Women are looking for genuine interactions, nothing less, nothing forced. Positioning yourself as a mentor might work in certain situations, but when it comes to romantic attraction, it's far more effective to show your interest and establish chemistry early on. Let her see the confident, charismatic side of you from the very beginning, and avoid getting caught in the trap of thinking that simply being an older, more experienced man will be enough. Instead, invest in building a dynamic that excites both of you, one where mutual respect and romantic potential coexist from the start. Mistake 6. Messing up the age question. When it comes to dating, particularly with younger women, one of the most common missteps older men make is how they handle the inevitable question, how old are you? Picture this scenario. You're having a fantastic conversation with a younger woman, everything feels easy and natural, and suddenly she asks, "So, how old are you?" In that moment, many older men start to panic. They might nervously blurting out their age, try to change the subject awkwardly, or even get visibly uncomfortable. Their body language tenses up, their tone becomes strained, and before they know it, the confident man she was interested in starts to shrink in her eyes. What you might not realize is that how you respond to this question is crucial because it reflects how you feel about your age. And if you react insecurely, you're sending her a message that you see it as a problem. The truth is, if you believe your age is an issue, she will too. This kind of response often stems from societal pressures that make older men feel as though dating younger women is taboo, causing them to feel ashamed or uncertain about the situation. But the reality is, your age isn't the problem. It's how you present it. If you approach the question with hesitation or discomfort, you are unintentionally inviting her to view it negatively as well. The key is to own it with confidence. The next time she asks about your age, instead of panicking, embrace it. Confidence is the real game changer here. You can choose to respond in a playful, light-hearted way or simply be straightforward. If you prefer to keep it playful, you could respond with a teasing remark like, "I'm actually too old for you. We'd never work," while flashing a sly smile. Or, if you're in the mood for some humour, pretend to count on your fingers and say, "I'm 700 months old. How about you?" However, if humour doesn't come naturally to you, keeping it simple and direct is just as effective. Simply say your age with calm confidence. "I'm 47, followed by a brief pause and a smile, then smoothly transition the conversation to something more engaging. By doing so, you're showing her that your age isn't a big deal, and this will help her feel more at ease as well. When you're comfortable and confident about who you are, it naturally puts her at ease too. Remember, it's not about your age, but how you perceive it. If you stand tall in your own skin, she'll follow your lead and respect you for it. The more confident you are in yourself, the more she will be drawn to that confidence. After all, age is just a number, and what truly matters is how you carry yourself. When older men recognize that younger women are turned off by certain behaviors, it's important for them to adopt a more self-aware and thoughtful approach in relationships. Here are 7 unattractive habits that often lead to dissatisfaction, and what men can do to change them. Being overly controlling. Many younger women dislike when older men try to control the dynamics of the relationship. They may feel restricted and frustrated when their partner is too dominant. Older men should work on trusting their partner's independence and giving space for personal growth. It's essential to embrace a more collaborative mindset, allowing both individuals to contribute equally to the relationship. Talking about past relationships, excessively constantly bringing up ex-partners can be a major turn-off. It signals unresolved emotional baggage and can make younger women feel as though they are just a substitute. Older men should focus on the present and future of the relationship, making sure not to dwell too much on the past. Lack of emotional availability. Emotional maturity is a key trait for many younger women, but that doesn't mean they want a partner who is emotionally distant. Older men should strive for open and honest communication, sharing their feelings and allowing for vulnerability. This builds trust and strengthens the emotional connection. Acting like a dad instead of a partner. While older men might feel protective, acting overly paternal can be unattractive. This comes across as condescending rather than supportive. It's important to treat your partner as an equal, offering guidance without overshadowing or limiting their autonomy. Being stagnant in personal growth. Younger women often admire ambition and a willingness to evolve. When older men seem stagnant in their careers or personal growth, it can create a sense of imbalance. To be more appealing, men should continue working on themselves, pursuing new interests, and developing a healthy curiosity about the world. Focusing too much on physical appearances. A lot of older men may focus on superficial aspects like age or looks, which can feel shallow to younger women. It's crucial to move beyond physical attraction and value deeper qualities like intelligence, humour, and kindness. Emotional and intellectual connection should be prioritized over just aesthetics. Insecurity about age. Insecurities about age can lead to behaviours like trying too hard to appear youthful or complaining about getting older. Younger women may see this as a lack of self-acceptance. Older men should embrace their age and experiences confidently, showing that age is just a number and does not define their worth. In summary, older men can maintain a fulfilling relationship with younger women by being emotionally available, treating their partner as an equal, and working on personal growth. The key lies in self-awareness and a willingness to adapt in ways that nurture the relationship. So there you have it, the 7 mistakes older men often make with younger women. Let's quickly recap. Idolizing her, messing up the age question, leading with money, positioning yourself as a mentor, trying too hard to look young, overloading the conversation with your achievements, and neglecting your physical presence. Now, I know some of these might sound familiar, and that's okay. The truth is, at the core of all these mistakes is one common theme: not fully embracing who you are. Younger women aren't looking for someone who's perfect or someone who's constantly trying to impress them. They're looking for someone who's confident, self-aware, and authentic. When you let go of those insecurities, stop trying to prove yourself, and focus on becoming the best version of who you are, everything changes, not just in relationships, but in how you live your life. At Blessing of Stoicism, our mission goes beyond just helping men navigate dating. We aim to help you become the best version of yourself in all areas of life. This is about building a life that's rich in purpose, strength, and self-respect, qualities that naturally attract the right people, relationships, and experiences. So, I want to leave you with this. If any part of this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on where you can improve. Look at your habits, your mindset, and your actions. Start making those small, positive changes today. Becoming better isn't just about reaching some distant goal. It's about embracing the journey of self-improvement and growth every single day. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic, owning your strengths, and working on your weaknesses. That's where the real transformation happens. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from this message. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or experiences you'd like to share, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, keep improving, and I'll see you next time on Blessing of Stoicism.